What is going on? I am here live with you for the first time. I've done hundreds of videos on YouTube, but never live. So if you're tuning in, I'm so excited. Today we're talking about how to plan your day and actually stick to it. Do the days feel like they just go by so quickly? Your head hits the pillow and you feel like, oh my gosh, I got nothing done. It wasn't very productive. We don't want any of that happening. So if you're tuning in, my name is Jen Johnson, and I am all about educating and empowering Christian entrepreneurs to grow their faith, their business, their passion, and turn it into a profitable business. And so I'm excited that you're here. So let's go ahead and dive right into this because time is valuable, and I definitely value your time and want to give you as much information as possible for you to walk away with. Hopefully you can actually hear me on here. I definitely, if you could put a little comment below, make sure, because again, this is the first live I've ever done. And it's so crazy because I've done hundreds and hundreds of videos. So the first thing I want to share with you, when it comes to planning your days, it actually starts long before the day begins. You want to be focusing on your long-term vision, okay? As of live of this video, we're in a new year, and it's important that we think bigger. I think sometimes it's easy to get scared to think bigger or be intimidated by that, but we have to really have a long-term vision so we know how to better plan our days, our weeks, our months, and even our year. So this, when you do this, it's really going to help you when you have a mapped out vision for an overall mission, an overarching mission that you want to accomplish. It's going to keep you focused. It's going to help you make wise decisions, and it's going to help you, again, plan for better days. And setting a longer term goal also stretches your faith. As a Christian entrepreneur and as a Christian in general, we have spiritual responsibility to set goals. It's really important that we do that. And it's important that we stretch ourselves. And something my pastor always says that I love is you need to go out on a limb because that's where the fruit is. That's where you're going to flourish. And so at the same time, we want to avoid, getting overwhelmed by these big dreams and these big ideas, and start biting off smaller chunks that we can actually chew. And that's where the days come in. That's where the weeks come in, and we can start planning accordingly. So I want you to kind of think about this. I thought of it as like planning a wedding. When you think of when you just get engaged, if you've ever been married, I'm married. But when I just got engaged, I was really not thinking about all the minor details of things that needed to be done. I was really gathering my vision and my thoughts around what I wanted my wedding to be like, the feel, the vibe, the venue, like what the colors would be, what would be if there was some sort of theme. And, nowadays we have Pinterest and we can go on there and, check out get all the feels for our wedding, right? Well, then it comes down to, okay, now that I have this overall vision of what I want my wedding to feel like, how many people, okay, an appointment to go check out venues, and I can start mapping out, the invitations and trying on the dress, and all these little minor details start to come into play up until the day of the event. And that is really how we want to look at our business at the same time. We want to have this longer term vision so that way all of the action we take is towards this overarching goal that we have. So I just wanted to I hope that helps as a little bit of an analogy. Now, when we start to actually map out our days and our weeks and our months, it is so important, and you're going to probably think, duh, Jen, but you need to have a calendar. It is so crucial that you do. And what blows my mind more than others, don't feel bad about this if this is you, I know so many people building business who don't have a calendar. Like they don't write it out. They don't map it out. They don't plan it out. And for me, I'm a green personality, but we're in business. It is time to really get serious about mapping out what's going on in your day, what's going on in your week, what's going on in your month. And I got to tell you, I'm a little bit of a calendar snob, and I've tried so many different ones. I've tried tons of different planners. And for me, as much of a tech geek as I am, I absolutely love writing out my plans, literally pen to paper. So what I use is actually the Passion Planner. This is my second one. It's a brand new one for the year, and they're beautiful, and they come in different sizes. And the reason why I love this planner so much is because it allows you to really map out long-term and short-term. Everything from, it has the monthly view calendar, it has the weekly view, and then it has the days and actually the hours that you can actually write in. It's so important that we have that because we need to know overall, like what is the focus for the month? What is the focus for the next 6 months, or however far out you map this out? You know what I'm saying? We want to have some sort of goal. So here's the deal. Hey, Tracy, I see that you're on here. If you want to order one, I actually want to give you a 10% off coupon. I actually just got these for you right before I went live. I wanted to hook you up. So I'll put the link below that you can actually go to grab 10% off and grab your first Passion Planner, because literally, like, I just love these. I don't make any money off of telling you that, but I absolutely love these planners. They're gorgeous. And so it's, again, important to have a calendar and really get serious about planning things out. I can kind of show you a little bit of the inside here real quick too, sidetracked. But this is the week, and then each day, has the times. And what's cool is it has, you know, personal to-dos and work to-dos down below, and a big space for just ideas and creating and all that kind of stuff, as well as it has the monthly view. As you can see, I have my whole month here mapped out, and it's good to have a bird's eye view of your month, so that way you can think, okay, what events do I have going on? What personal time do I have that I need to schedule with appointments or kids or whatever you have going on? And then you can really start to see the white space in your day and think, oh, okay, I have time to go live now, or at this time, or I have time to create a piece of content here, or I have time to write an email, and you can map it out accordingly. So having a calendar, I really want to encourage you to make that happen. Also, the third thing is we want to set action-based goals and results-based goals. When we set goals, obviously, especially at the new year, we're thinking of all the things we want to accomplish and things we want to maybe reward ourselves with. You know, and in the line of business, especially entrepreneurship, there's always, you know, we see all the fun things and the bells and the whistles and the things that we would love to upgrade in our life, right? But it's important that to realize, to get those things and to receive, we have to be giving, and we have to start with taking action with generosity and giving of our time, giving of our value, giving of just really leading from the forefront of serving other people. And so if we want, for example, I am heavily focusing on YouTube this year and starting to take it really serious. I got to be honest, like I have hundreds of videos on YouTube, but I wasn't properly using this platform for the longest time. I was uploading and really focusing on blogging, so I would embed my videos over there, but I wouldn't really pay much attention to what was going on YouTube. And being a video marketer, it's kind of crazy, but now I've come to my senses, and I am really strongly excited, really excited about being over here on YouTube this year and hanging out more. So if I want to have a goal to, let's say, you know, have 50,000 subscribers this year, I have to really think, what action am I going to take to make that happen? So I have a results-based goal of wanting to achieve 50,000 subscribers. And if you're not subscribed yet, by the way, I encourage you to do so, because I'd love to hang out with you over here. But if I want to have that result, what am I going to do? What are the actions? What is the plan in place? So I decided I want to do lives. You know, I want to create a couple of pieces of content a week. And I think one of the easiest ways to do that is to do pre-recorded videos, but also show up live and hang out with you guys. And so I have to plan that. I have to put that in here. When am I doing that, right? So really think of the action-based goals that you need to take. Make it a goal. If you want to hit a certain following on Instagram, if you want to hit a certain amount of subscribers on YouTube, or if you want to create a certain amount of revenue in your business, you have to start reverse engineering. Okay, that's the result I want to achieve, but what am I going to actually do and take action on to get there? Okay. The fourth thing is we want to create a daily rhythm for the repetitive things that we need to be doing in our business, because some things require just us doing the same thing over and over and over again. So for me, there's certain things that I do in my day. I love having a quiet time where I sit and I read my Bible and I pray, and I do all kinds of things. I'm actually going to do a whole video around quiet time and I have a great resource for you for that. But I'm going to save that for a different video. But just know it's coming, so that's why you want to subscribe. But quiet time, maybe you work out, maybe you create a certain amount of content every single week, or you like to email your list a certain amount of times a week, or you want to meet 10 new people a day. Whatever the goal is, or whatever the thing is that you do daily, because there's some things that we should be doing every single day in our life, in our work, in our business. Create a rhythm for that. You have to make time for what's important. You have to, if you want to create more time for the things that you want to do, it's just a matter of making the time for it. So it has to become a non-negotiable and a habit that you learn to develop, just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower or anything like that. It's going to require us to be disciplined. And again, planning it in our calendar. This is why this is like one of the first things I covered, is because we want to create that structure. So if you have all of the things that are non-negotiables in your calendar, you'll start to see where the white space is, where you could focus on extra projects or tasks or things that you need to add in to get done in that day. But first and foremost, it has to come down to what are you not willing to negotiate to ensure the consistency in your life and in your business? Because it all falls back on consistency. And I think a lot of people talk about that, but in order to create it, we have to actually plan on doing it. We have to actually plan it out. And it comes down to, for me, one of the things that really saved me in my business was my Apple Watch because I actually can tell Siri to remind me of things. So even though it's written in here, it's also on my watch to where it will alarm me that the time has come for that thing to do. So that makes it easy. If you wanted to spoil yourself or splurge a little bit, I highly recommend having some sort of device attached to your body that can remind you of things so you don't forget, and it holds you accountable. It's really cool. So that's the fourth thing, is just creating a daily rhythm. And everybody's day, like the things you do to get your day going, might be different. Maybe you work out for an hour, maybe you work out for 30 minutes. One thing I do think you should not negotiate on is quiet time and setting the tone for your day by just sitting in silence. Because the minute you break silence after that time in the morning, it doesn't get quiet again until you go to sleep. So typically we're so busy, we're so consumed, and we have so many things going on that we will not get any other moment in the day to get quiet. So if you could take 10, 15, 20 minutes, I take an hour every morning and I sit and I do my thing. And so I really want to encourage you to do that. The fourth thing is, you need to, when you're creating this rhythm, is set aside time to be proactive and reactive. I know there's so many things that we can be reacting to on a consistent basis, and that can really take control of your time and your calendar, because you're now in a mode of just responding to everybody else and what's going on. Those little red dots on our phone that give us notifications, those are dangerous. I highly suggest you don't have those on. I would turn them off and set aside time to say, you know what? At this time of the day, I'm going to go in and respond to my Facebook messages or respond to my emails. Or at this time of the day, I'm going to spend 20 minutes and I'm going to go on Instagram and Facebook and start engaging with people, whatever that looks like for you. But set aside the time when you are able to do it, instead of just constantly responding to it all throughout the day, because that's why we don't get as much done if we're in reactive mode 24/7. So you need to set aside time to be proactive in taking action, setting action-based goals, right? But then taking that time throughout the day to say, okay, for this amount of time, I'm going to go and respond to what's going on. The other thing is when you are using a calendar like this, or even if you're using a digital format, like Google is great. Google Calendar is so awesome. I love it. And what's cool about that is you can color code. You can create multiple calendars on one calendar for Google, and then you can actually create different colors for things. And here's the deal. If you color code, the more colorful your calendar is, the more in balance you'll feel your life is because for me, pink is personal and green is business and blue is my coaching clients. And I have all these different colors for different things. And I can see that if there's a certain color not showing up, then I need to work on that because there are certain things that I need to have flowing all the time. But you can do the same thing inside of your passion planner or whatever other planner you're using. I color code in here as well. You can see it's very colorful. And I'm not big on doodling and scrapbooking and bulleting and all of that inside of my journals. I just want to get it done. But I do, and this, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, she's just so girly. It's honestly, I color code because it's a visual thing for me to know that I'm hitting all areas of my life. So I hope that helps you out there. But the other thing that is so great and that I'm going to go back to is this feature on this calendar of having the hours. And it's getting dark here, so sorry for the lighting. But from 6 a.m. to 10:30 at night on each day is amazing because the sixth thing that you want to focus on when you're planning your day is time blocking. Okay, if you've never heard of time blocking, it's amazing. Okay, you really want to look and time chunk and say during this time to this time, I'm going to do this. And during this time to this time, I'm going to do that. And you're basically breaking up your day, and you want to do it in a way to where you are not having to switch things up so often. There is a technique called the Pomodoro technique where every 15 minutes, you do an activity. Every 15 minutes, you change it up and do something else, which is awesome. You can do that as well. And most things that take place really don't take that long when it comes to social media, when it comes to writing an email, or when it comes to recording a video. They don't take that long to do. So time chunking it out really will help you manage your time better. And again, when you're starting with your priorities and your daily rhythm and then filling in the white space, that's going to help you see how much time you really have to work with throughout each day. Because some days they're different. Not every day in the life of a solopreneur or an entrepreneur is going to be the same. It's going to change and vary because the fact that we run our own ship, and it's not a cubicle job. We get to do a lot of different stuff, and we have the freedom to do that, which is a blessing, but it can also be a challenge if we don't manage the time well. So really looking at a calendar and thinking, okay, from 9 to 9:30, I have, I'm going to do some reading, or I'm going to do, I have a coaching client, or whatever's going on in your day. Fill in the blank there for yourself, but really time blocking it out. And a thing that helps with time blocking is actually setting a timer. There's timers online, there's timers on your watch, there's timers on your phone, and set a timer and say, during that time, this is what I'm doing, and nothing else is happening. You're not answering your phone, you're not going to your emails, you're not going all over the place trying to figure out do multiple things at one time. So we just want to make sure that we are being focused on the activity at hand. And again, that's so great. That's something that the Google Calendar offers too. If you're going hour by hour time blocking, you can do that digitally, or you can do that inside of this passion planner. So the other thing that you can do to save time and plan better for your days is content batching. If you have never heard of this, content batching is basically just creating a slew of pieces of content at one time. I gotta tell you, if you're on YouTube, batching is so crucial for YouTube because you want to be consistent, right? And in order to be consistent, it's just easier to get more videos done at one time than it is to do one-off videos. And there's actually a lot of benefits to doing more videos at one time because you can group them together, you can make playlists, and you can point them to each other. There's all kinds of cool strategies there. But knowing like if you're building your business part-time, you have another job, or you just really find that time is a big enemy for you at the moment, batching is so crucial, because again, if you're constantly moving from different activity to different activity, it takes our brain longer to refocus. And so I've done up to 7 videos in one day that I've recorded. And so when you're ready and your hair, girls, we got the hair done, we got the makeup done, you can change your shirts if you want to and all that stuff. But just being in the zone and knowing this is what I'm shooting, these are my topics, this is what I'm going to focus on, and batching that content out is going to help you. It's going to save you so much time, because think about the time it takes just to set up one thing or set up 2 things and have to do it over and over every single week, when you can just sit down for a few hours and record 4 or 5 videos. And if you're just doing this for a month, you have the whole month done. There's 5 weeks in this month per se, right? So if you did 5 videos, that'd be 1 video a week that you can be editing and putting up and have it just be scheduled out, and it's just set it and forget it. So it makes life so much easier when you're batching it out. Same thing for Instagram, or for maybe you run a private community on Facebook. I love batching my content in those places, because sometimes certain posts are, I have a weekly post, a weekly Q&A post that I do inside of my group on Wednesdays. So I can actually schedule those out for the entire month and be done with it. And it's just going to save me so much time, but it's still going to help me get interactive with my group. And so when it comes to Instagram, there's great platforms that you can use for that as well, to be scheduling things ahead of time, and your phone will remind you to actually post it. But it's nice to just have it done. And then there's also moments where you want to live in the moment and post in the moment. I'm a pretty post in the moment type person, if honestly. But think of the things that you could batch, and think of the things that would save you so much time if you just took that extra effort because that's going to help you have more productive days. It's going to free up more white space throughout each day, to where you're not having to sit every day or every week and plan new content to record and then to do the whole thing. So I hope that this helps you guys out in terms of just working smarter and being able to plan around a bigger vision. I really want to help you think bigger this year and have that long-term goal, whether it's 20, 30, 40 years, whatever it is. But when you know that long-term goal, you don't have to have it all figured out, but it helps direct your steps. It helps you feel guided, and it helps you be able to figure out what are the new habits I need to make, the old habits I need to break, and what are the actionable steps I need to be focusing on to create the results-based goals that I have. And so I actually have a 90-day planner habit tracker to help you break this kind of stuff up into 90-day increments. So I will be sure to put that link in the description below as well, so you can print that out and map it out, or create a journal around it. It's totally up to you, but I do have that as a free resource for you. And I'm excited. We did our first YouTube video together. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, feel free to drop some questions or thoughts and comments. I'd love to hear from you and get into the conversation with you a little bit more. But for now, guys, I'm signing off. Have a blessed evening, and we will talk soon.